What's in your mind when you see that ball flow in your direction?
My ball or nobody.
First pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select
What's up, everybody? What be going? Zone, man. It's your boy Q, aka Uncle Quan. Welcome back to the channel with another film study, man. Today, we are here to talk about the Carolina Panthers' #1 targeted guy going into this year's draft. I got it. They moved back up into the first round to get South Carolina product, standing at 6'1", 221 pounds. Our guy, Xavier Legette. Xavier Legette brings something different to the Carolinas, man. Something different to the black and blue. A big body receiver with breakaway speed, power, and a crazy catch radius. Yes, we've seen the Kelvin Benjamins before. We've seen the Devin Funches, but this is nowhere near like Xavier Legette coming out of this draft, man. Xavier Legette is just a different beast. Hell, even Bryce Young's dad advocates for Xavier Legette to help out his son in the 2024 season. Dave Canales was definitely drooling over the scouting report with this guy. This guy can be an immediate contributor right away as a rookie, whether that's special teams or playing a receiver position. There are also fans out there that are worried about him being able to separate or lack thereof. But I'm going to break down personally why I feel like separation is not going to be an issue coming into the next level of football. This is a guy who rarely sees press coverage. When you decide to play press coverage against Xavier Legette, you're going to be playing catch up for the rest of the way. So wisely, people definitely play off coverage, respecting the speed of Xavier Legette, someone who can be a deep threat and an intermediate threat. Xavier Legette also brings versatility to the special teams unit. With the new special teams rules, Xavier Legette brings a big body, fast breakaway speed to the special teams unit, somebody who has great vision to find those creases and maybe take one to the house throughout this year. While I do believe Xavier Legette is very versatile and can be used almost in any position, I personally would hesitate to put Xavier Legette in the backfield. At times throughout the film, whenever Xavier Legette got the ball out of the backfield, there was times where he got caught running backwards, losing yards, trying to find a crease, and he hesitated to follow his blocks to allow them to open up a running lane for him to run behind. I think this pickup was really good for Bryce Young, especially when you got Bryce Young so early in his career. This is going to be a young offense that Bryce Young can develop with for years to come. Obviously, the Panthers went back up into the first round to have more flexibility with his fifth-year option, which definitely indicates that the Panthers are definitely planning long-term for Xavier Legette and Bryce Young to be that dynamic duo in the future. With that being said, fam, let's go ahead and get into this film. Make sure you guys hit that like button while you're here, man. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video on the channel as well. We do have a giveaway coming up very soon for the College Football 2025, and you definitely don't want to miss that. All you got to do is be subscribed to myself and What's Up Doug, and you can get a chance to win one of 3 copies for that live trivia giveaway, man. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss further details on the live. Also, if you're a supporter of the channel and you want to see me upload more videos, you want to see me do more live content, all you got to do is hit that like button, leave a comment, man. That's the best way to interact with this channel and let me know that you guys are actually enjoying the content, man. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this film, baby. Let's get it. All right, so let's take a look at this Mississippi State matchup. Take a look at the top of your screen where Xavier Legette is lined up in the slot. Y'all forgive me, I don't have my my highlighter, so y'all work with me, man. We're gonna be using the mouse for this one. So if you take a look off rip, let's start it from the top. Off rip, your tight end is motioning to the inside. You got a little bit of man coverage, probably like a cover 1. Xavier Legette running across, that's where he's dangerous. Breakaway speed, he runs right past these defenders. Breakaway speed is absolutely insane, man. Let's go ahead and rewind this thing and let's talk about it. All right, so right here, fam, what this motion does, it lets Spencer Rattle know, okay, we got man coverage. So this guy has to play the chase game with Xavier Legette. And when you got Xavier Legette running full speed, crosser route, across the field, man, and then you don't have anybody getting hands on him at the line of scrimmage, that's way too easy for Xavier Legette to get off. So again, you have to respect the speed of Xavier Legette. So a lot of people don't play press coverage against this guy. In fact, I rarely seen press coverage in any of his film because of the breakaway speed that he has. So if you pay attention, if you give him a free release off the line of scrimmage, He's already running in full stride. It's hard to catch up to him. The man coverage was way too easy for Xavier Legette. That breakaway speed to get past the second level and the third level is absolutely insane. Took it to the crib. Let's move on to the next play. All right, guys, let's take a look at another play from Mississippi State. Take a look at the bottom of your screen where Xavier Legette is lined up at wide out. You got a 2-by-1 formation. Let's take a look at it. You got some off coverage. Once again, nobody's playing press coverage against this big body receiver because once you play press coverage, you already beat pre-snap. So take a look at this play right here. A simple comeback route just to let you know that his vertical threat is definitely going to be a key factor coming into the NFL, because when that vertical threat is taking away the top, when you got all these defenders backing up, that's going to open up the intermediate game and the short game. So let's take a look at this right here. Take a look at Xavier Legette. You got this off coverage again. You got to respect the speed of Xavier Legette. Get these guys turning their hips, slams on the break. All right, so take a look at it one more time, fam. Take a look at this corner. Again, you got to respect the speed of Xavier Legette. As soon as this corner is starting to run full stride down the field, look at his body language as he's getting ready to run full stride with Xavier Legette. This vertical threat is definitely selling. This corner is getting ready to run full stride down the field with Xavier Legette, but Xavier Legette literally slams on the brakes, and this guy has to play catch up right here. So take a look at it again. Boom. This corner is already beat. He has to break down and come back to the ball, but Xavier Legette did a really good job of sinking his hips, turning his body and getting ready for the ball, coming right back to it. High point, boom. Easy first down. Great job by Xavier Legette to sell that vertical route and slam on the brakes and come back to the ball. All right, guys, take a look at the top of your screen where Xavier Legette is lined up at wide out, 2-by-1 formation. Take a look at this corner right here. This is why you play off-man coverage against a guy like Xavier Legette. That 50-50 ball is most likely going to come down with Xavier Legette. Like he told y'all in the beginning of the video, it's my ball or nobody's, man. That's the mentality that he plays with on the field. So take a look at this play right here. Again, we're keying in on Xavier Legette. Corner comes up. That's where he messes up right there. This is why you don't play press coverage. This is not necessarily press coverage, but when you giving him a little bit of room at the line of scrimmage, you're going to have to play catch up because he's a very feisty guy, very aggressive with his hands. So if you're going to play press coverage, you're going to get beat. You're going to get beat up the line of scrimmage. So these guys play off coverage. This is slightly off the line of scrimmage. Of course, he's not really looking to get hands on Xavier Legette right away. And that's where you mess up with Xavier Legette. When you give him a free release, he's going to win that battle. So let's take a look at it one more time, man. If you want to try to slow down Xavier Legette, you got to get hands on him a little bit earlier. But that could also be a recipe for disaster, because if you're getting hands on Xavier Legette, you could get beat and get left even sooner than when you're playing off coverage. So when you're playing off coverage against a guy like Xavier Legette, you really just have to trust your speed to be able to keep up with him. But the thing with Xavier Legette, if you got one-on-one coverage, I'm throwing that shit up to Xavier Legette every single time, man. One-on-one coverage, I trust my guy versus yours. It's my ball or nobody's, just like he said, man. So take a look at it one more time. Again, you got to get hands on Xavier Legette if you want a chance. He doesn't get hands on him until about the 10th yard out. It's already too late at that point. He just absolutely leaves this corner. Give this guy a map, man. He don't know what he's doing. Xavier Legette with that crazy breakaway speed like we talked about, he's able to take that to the house. All right, guys, let's take a look at this Week 3 matchup against the Georgia Bulldogs. Xavier Legette at the bottom of your screen, lined up in the slot. So let's take a look at this play right here, man. I want you to key in on just how aggressive Xavier Legette plays. And this right here should debunk all the separation theories right here. So if you're worried about Xavier Legette not getting separation at the next level, pay attention to this play right here. Xavier Legette is very aggressive at the top of his routes. He does use his hands to get off of those defenders' hands, and he uses the leverage against his defenders to break his route off, man. So pay attention to Xavier Legette as he runs this route right here. Again, lined up in the slot, got the defense in front of him. You got motion, so nobody moves with him. It's zone coverage. Xavier Legette at the top of his route, boom. All right, fam, so the second time around, I want you to pay attention to his release off the line of scrimmage. He's forcing this defender to have to play the inside leverage so he can break that outside. So pay attention. Pay attention to how he runs this route. Immediately runs inside, use his hands to kind of push him off and force him on the inside while he breaks off on the outside. So take a look at it again. I'm going to try to slow this thing down. All right, pay attention to his release. Burst off the line of scrimmage, get that inside leverage. Look at the corner. At the top of Xavier Legette's route, look at this corner. He's backed up. His back is turned against Xavier Legette. That's way too easy for Xavier Legette to kind of out-muscle him, get that outside leverage, and high point the ball. So take a look at it. Great recovery by the corner, but it's just too late. Xavier Legette already got you playing that inside leverage. That's way too easy for him to plant his right foot in the ground and break this thing off to the outside. So boom, outside, bang. Highest point, man. Every time you see the ball in the air, this guy is going up to get it, man. You love to see receivers go up to attack the ball at the highest point because it makes it hard for defenders to kind of break on that ball. So great job by Xavier Legette to kind of use that inside leverage against the defender and break that ball outside. He's very aggressive at the top of his routes, man. So let's take a look at another play by Xavier Legette. All right, guys, take a look at the bottom of your screen. You got one-on-one coverage against this guy, number 6. So pay attention. This guy backs up. He's playing way off. Xavier Legette, he sells that vertical, slams on the break. Once again, showing you that he has a really good comeback route ability, man. So take a look at it again. We're going to rewind this thing. Take a look at this corner. We're going to pause it at the top of his route. He's backing up. You got to respect the vertical threat. As soon as you get this corner, turning his hips to run, at first he's backpedaling. So pay attention to it, fam. Pay attention to it. He's backpedaling. And as soon as he turns his hips, he's ready to run down the field. He's ready to run down the field because he feels like Xavier Legette is about to run full stride down the field. So he got to play catch up with Xavier Legette. But as soon as he turns his hip, he turns his back completely towards Xavier Legette, and Xavier Legette is getting ready to break on his route and come back to the ball. Take a look at how he plants that right foot in the ground and gets ready to change his direction. Boom. This corner is turned completely around, man. You got to get this guy a map. He don't know what he's doing. And that ball is already coming to Xavier Legette. By the time he breaks on this ball, it's way too late, man. Xavier Legette, filthy comeback route by Xavier Legette. So there you have it, man. Xavier Legette showing you that he definitely has more up his bag of tricks than just running down the field, man. He got that intermediate game with those crossers and that comeback route. So he definitely can expand that route tree as he moves forward into the NFL. But I know a lot of people were worried about the separation. I'm not seeing the issue with the separation here, man. Even if you got a guy running stride for stride with him, you're going to see his ability to be able to high point that ball and bring it down for himself. So let's move on to the next play. All right, guys, let's take a look at this week 1 matchup against the Tar Heels. Take a look at Xavier Legette right here at the bottom of your screen. A lot of people will call this his coming out game, man. So take a look again at Xavier Legette at the bottom of your screen, one-on-one coverage. I'm going to let this play run and then we're going to talk about it. So off rip, you got a guy coming up to the line of scrimmage. He's not putting his hands on Xavier Legette. Again, a lot of these defenders mess up by not putting hands on Xavier Legette. I understand why you wouldn't, but that's probably your best chance at stopping him from running full speed. So let's take a look at it again. Take a look at this play again, man. That back shoulder throw is absolutely insane. So a lot of people, again, are worried about that separation. This corner actually did a pretty good job of running step by step with Xavier Legette. This is actually very good mechanics by this corner. All right, guys, so let's take a look at this play again. Once again, if you're running step by step with Xavier Legette, you don't necessarily want to lay this ball out there. I mean, you can, and you can still trust Xavier Legette to come down with it. But what Spencer Rattler does right here is very good quarterback play. When you got a guy running step by step, you want to get your wide receiver to turn back around because the corner is still running. He's running full speed towards the goal line, and Xavier Legette has to stop and come back to the ball, and that allows the corner to be widely separated from the wide receiver. So if you take a look at it, this is very good ball placement by Spencer Rattler. Xavier Legette has that ability to really adjust to any catch, especially that back shoulder throw, which is going to be very pivotal to playing with Bryce Young. Bryce Young definitely has the ability to lay those back shoulder throws out to these receivers. So take a look at it one more time. Boom, back shoulder throw. 50-50 ball is his, man. All right, guys, I'll take a look at another play from this week 1 matchup. If you take a look at your screen, look at the coverage that the defense is playing. They're playing way off of everybody on this line of scrimmage. Nobody is getting press coverage right here. So this makes it very easy to run a mesh concept, which you're going to see right here. So Xavier Legette is simply just running full speed across the field. That is where Xavier Legette is most dangerous. When he's running full stride across the field with no type of press coverage, he's running, I mean, it's free game at that point. And you have to be able to come down and tackle this guy when he's running full speed. And with those new tackling rules in the NFL, good luck to NFL defenders trying to bring this guy down, man. So let's let this play run. We're going to talk about it. So again, that mesh concept, you're bringing the guy down the field to run that crosser route, bringing the guy to clear that route on the other side. Let's slow this thing down, man. Again, y'all forgive me. I don't have my highlighter to necessarily break down and draw these routes up. But if you take a look at your screen, you're going to have a pistol formation, play action situation, and then you're going to have these two tight ends. After the snap, these guys are going to switch. So this guy's going to run this way, and then this guy right here is going to run this way. So that makes it hard for defenders to kind of see which guy that you have to defend, and it kind of brings those dirty eyes to the defenders. This guy right here at the bottom of your screen is simply clearing this route down the field because Xavier Legette is running about 5-10 yards down the field where they're going to pretty much meet, and you got to pretty much pick your poison as a defender. So once these guys are at the top of their route, they're going to pretty much break off a switch. So he's running that clear route to kind of bring these defenders off of Xavier Legette to open up that intermediate. And Xavier Legette, again, running full speed across the middle is just way too hard. You got to pick your poison, man. He's wide open. That throw should have got there a little bit sooner, but it doesn't matter, man. Xavier Legette lowering his shoulder and bringing the power with him, man. Look at the strength after the catch. Look at the strength after the catch. Being able to bounce off of tackles and drag guys down the field. Point of contact was at the 50-yard line. He bring these guys all the way to the damn near 40-yard line, 10 yards down the field, man. Big body receiver, plays with the mentality of a dog, man. So great job by Xavier Legette. Let's move on to the next one. All right, let's take a look at this play right here, man. Take a look at the bottom of your screen where Xavier Legette got one-on-one press coverage. This is man coverage. So what do you think I'm about to do? I'm about to throw it up to Xavier Legette. Duh. 50-50 ball is definitely going to come down with Xavier Legette. All right, guys, take a look at your screen, man. Again, Xavier Legette at the bottom of your screen. If you take a look at this defense, pre-snap, you got man coverage across the board. Everybody's lined up in front of their guy, getting ready to run with their guy, right? So, one-on-one press coverage, I'm throwing that bitch up to Xavier Legette every single time, man. Let Xavier Legette come down with it. All right, guys, take a look at your screen, man. Take a look at this trips right formation. Xavier Legette is at the top of your screen. Now, if you take a look at this defense, what's the problem here, fam? You got a corner that's playing 10 yards off of Xavier Legette. What do you have to do as a quarterback at any level of football? You do not have to go down the field at this point. Get Xavier Legette, who is really good with the ball in his hands. Get Xavier Legette to come back to the ball. You don't have to run a full route. Just come back to the ball. If you're going to get that much space off the line of scrimmage, you do the rest of the work. I don't have to do much here, man. So a quarterback like Bryce Young is going to see something like that. He's going to check out of that play, and he's just going to dunk the ball off to Xavier Legette and let him do the rest of the work, which is why I believe that this system will work for Bryce Young, because Bryce Young does not have to do too much in this system. All you got to do is contribute the ball to these guys and let them do the work for you, man. So take a look at the top of your screen. Xavier Legette, all you got to do is 1, 2, 3, boom. You do the rest. Go get the first down. And look at what he does with the ball in his hands. Boom, slams on that. You're going to give me that much space. I'm going to cut it back. Boom, get off of me. You're a little boy, man. So again, if you're going to play that far off of Xavier Legette, it's kind of, you got to pick your poison, because if you're going to play up, you got to get ready for the vertical route. If you're going to play off, he has that immediate and short game to get the ball and do something with it in his hands, man. So playing Xavier Legette is going to be a matchup nightmare for these defensive coordinators, man. All right, guys, take a look at the top of your screen where Xavier Legette is lined up at wide out. You got a 2x2 formation. Pay attention to this play concept, man. This is actually a really good play. Now, again, Xavier Legette's bread and butter is going to be those crosser routes, going across the field, running full speed. You don't have anybody playing press coverage or getting hands on you. So pay attention to this play, and we're going to slow it down and talk about it, man. Xavier Legette at the top of your screen running a full crosser route. Once he gets that crosser route, I mean, it's free game. It's free game. You got to be able to come down and try to tackle this guy. And again, if you're trying to tackle this guy, it's going to be hard with these new tackling rules. You can't do the hip tackle. So a big guy like this, man, it's going to be hard to bring him down. So let's actually talk about this play. If you take a look at the backfield, pay attention to this guy right here. He's going to run out of this backfield and kind of clear up this crosser route for Xavier Legette. So Xavier Legette is kind of running behind this defender and waiting on this guy, on his teammate, to come out and kind of clear up the intermediate game. Because once he comes out, the defender has to account for him and back up, clearing out this space for this crosser. So pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. He comes out right here at the top. And this defender has to run with somebody. He has to run with somebody. He's beat two ways. So he has to back up and respect the vertical threat of this guy coming out of the backfield, and that opens up that intermediate game, and it's wide open. Wide open. Pay attention to it. Boom. Great concept. This is a great play call, man. Great play call to get the ball into your main guy's hands and let him do the rest and get the first down and more. All right, guys, and last but not least, it was kind of hard to find the flaws in Xavier Legette's game. It's almost like finding a needle in a haystack, but just like I talked about in the beginning of the video, I wouldn't necessarily trust giving Xavier Legette the ball out of the backfield. Xavier Legette in the backfield, you got a quick toss. Xavier Legette immediately turns this thing around, and this was a recipe for disaster. He's losing a lot of yards at this point. Lost a lot of yards because he was trying to make something happen. So if we rewind it, we're going to talk about this. So his vision from the backfield, I'm not necessarily a fan of this, man. I'm not necessarily a fan of this. Again, you get this toss. He immediately switches. He doesn't even try to follow his blocks. I don't like this right here, man. I really don't like this. You got to follow your blocks because look at the lane from your blockers versus the other side. He immediately flipped it to the other side instead of looking at the lane that he did have. Had he just simply followed his blocks, he could have got way more than what he got right here. I mean, he lost a lot of yards. So take a look at it. He doesn't even look this way. As soon as he get the ball, he immediately made up his mind to flip this field instead of just following his blocks and possibly even getting maybe five yards or more. But Xavier Legette, trying to be cute, he flips the field, comes all the way back, and look at all these defenders that's already on them. Yeah, you can break tackles, but you can't get away from all these guys. Yeah, he broke that tackle, but at that point, these guys are swarming down and they're closing in, man. You can't do this, especially in the NFL. You cannot sit here and try to flip the field. Just follow your blockers and get what you can. You're not going to always get the big play. Follow your blocks, trust your blocks, and just get down the field, man, and get the yard that you can get. Abuse the defense, you know what I'm saying? Keep pounding the rock. Do not try to get fancy with this, man. This was not a good play by Xavier Legette, and you saw this time after time throughout the film. A couple of different plays, a couple of different games where I saw that exact example where Xavier Legette struggled out of the backfield. So I wouldn't necessarily use Xavier Legette like a Laviska Shenault kind of role where I would give him the ball out of the backfield and put him at the X in the slot. I'm simply just leaving him at wideout, play him in the slot. Yeah, you can move him around, but do not give this guy the ball out of the backfield. And then, of course, you can also use him with kick return situations with these new kickoff rules. So use him with the special teams, use him at wide receiver, but do not put him in the backfield. All right, fam, there you have it, man. The Carolina boy will be in the Carolinas playing for the hometown team. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about Xavier Legette? Did you like this pick? Did you like the move to go back into the first round to snag him? Do you think he'll be an immediate impact in our system? Y'all let me know in the comments. I personally think Xavier Legette could be an immediate impact, and he's going to be a crucial piece for helping Bryce Young develop as a player and as a quarterback. Xavier Legette brings a big body threat and that breakaway speed to the Carolinas that we definitely haven't really seen before. And when you pair this guy up with guys like Adam Thielen and Deontay Johnson, who's able to really create separation on their side, you got to pick your poison with these guys, man, because these guys are route running gurus. And when you got Xavier Legette on the other side just bodying people, you have to pick your poison. So the separation thing that a lot of you are worried about, I am not worried about at all. Dave Canales has that wide receiver coordinator history when he was in Seattle, so I'm very confident that he definitely knows how to scheme guys open. All you have to do with Xavier Legette is just motion him in the backfield, get him some off coverage. When you don't get hands on him, y'all see what he can do with the ball in his hands. So very confident in Xavier Legette to come in and be an immediate contributor. With that being said, I appreciate you guys. If you made it to the end of the video, man, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel, man. As always, stay true to yourself, keep being you, follow those dreams and turn those dreams into goals, and go get it, fam. Love you guys. Peace.